Louisville at Miami. Big time matchup in the ACC. The main thing is the main thing for Louisville here. They're favored by 1. Noon kick on ABC. Going on the road. Jeff Brohm and the job he's done in year 1 there has been nothing short of elite. They're rolling right now, is Louisville. They could be a playoff team. The third time I've said it this show, they could be a playoff team. Miami, they're dangerous. I think they're better than the record says. They're playing a tough brand of football. You have to show up every single week and see Miami. They're allowing 3 yards a carry. They're rushing for 5 yards a carry. They're a gritty football team in the trenches, just like Mario Cristobal wants to coach. They fit his persona now at this point in Coral Gables. Now, Tyler Van Dyke is going to be the starter in this game. Emory Williams went down, broke his arm. Feel horrible for him. Tyler Van Dyke, you're back in the lineup after being benched. How he handles that psychologically and how the Louisville defense attacks him, I'm curious to watch that matchup. Because the path for Miami in this game, to win this game, it exists, but it exists and it requires 0 turnovers from Tyler Van Dyke. Because Louisville, they're going to attack you now. They've been phenomenal getting turnovers to this point in the year. They've got a sack rate right around 8%. They're going to be aggressive. So the question I have in this game for Miami, can Tyler Van Dyke get comfortable? This is twofold. It falls on the staff to put him in positions to be comfortable, meaning can we run the football well? Can we give him a simplistic game plan where he doesn't have to process the defense at a super computer kind of level? Just give him easy throws, let him get back into the flow of things, let him feel supported, let him be supported. Other part of this now, when Louisville does bring pressure against Miami, does Tyler Van Dyke have a good gauge for where his outlet is? That safety comes off the edge. I already know, read and react. I got my check down right there. Get it out to him quick, fast, and in a hurry. That is going to be key. Jamari Thrash, the Louisville receiver, is going to have a big impact on what Tyler Van Dyke has to do. Because Miami now, they haven't scored more than 30 since September. Let me rephrase that. Miami has scored over 30 one time since September. And Jamari Thrash is the most explosive weapon for this Louisville offense. And if he's able to get rolling, like if they're able to do what they want to do and involve him in the offense and have them, score some points and get leverage on Miami, things could get interesting because Miami, like I said, they're not built to really chase at this point. And if you ask Tyler Van Dyke to start winning the game for you, then things get a little bit hairy by nature of how he's turned the ball over to this point. So, curious to watch that one. Worth noting, too, the effectiveness of Jawar Jordan against this Miami run game, or run defense rather, is going to have a pretty solid impact on the attention you can give to Jamari Thrash. Because I think if you're Louisville, you're content just to run the football. They're a 55% run team. That's who they are. But for Miami, if you're getting gashed in the run game and you got to bring that safety down to try and stop it, or you have to stack that box a little bit more, well, then you have less resources to account for Jamari Thrash, then he gets loose. But to go back to that point, if you can't stop the run game for Miami, if you're having trouble getting Jawar Jordan on the ground, then that might just be how Louisville plays. And Jamari Thrash could have a pretty pedestrian stat line, and Louisville could win the game by a sizable margin if you can't stop the run. Now, to be clear, I don't expect that to be the case. I think Miami will do a good job stopping the run and selling out for that. So it goes back then to Jamari Thrash being explosive. Also, we should talk about this with Jack Plummer. All the shade that Tyler Van Dyke is getting with how he's turning the ball over, Jack Plummer hasn't exactly been the most cautious with the football either. 16 touchdowns and 9 picks on the year for Jack Plummer. Now, he's been a little bit better as of late, but I don't think it's unreasonable to put ourselves in the scenario where maybe Jack Plummer's the one with the turnovers. Maybe Jack Plummer's the one having some issues being able to take care of the football. Something to watch for. Because if they create extra possessions and give Miami some mulligans offensively, and Tyler Van Dyke gets comfortable, we've seen Tyler Van Dyke be really good, which is why this is so confusing that he's played so poorly to this point in the year. We saw in 2021, he was considered like a top 5 quarterback heading into the season. With that being said, we'll keep an eye on it. And the turnover battle obviously will have a very big impact. And what you ask Miami to do offensively could have an impact on that turnover battle. So we ask this question every single week for different games, and this is the one I want to settle on. This is the who's got the juice game of the week. Who's got the most in the tank? Because Virginia pushed Louisville around. Was that I say pushed them around. They pushed them to the brink, rather, is what I meant to say. Was that just like some weeknight weirdness? Was that a thing where Louisville just kind of had that game where they didn't really bring their A game but had to find a way to win? And you hat tip to them and say, okay, reset, we're going to be who we are now, and we're going to go ahead and roll and play our ball? Or is it a thing where Louisville, we're seeing hey, Low fuel. You get that alert, come on in the car. Low fuel, check the engine. Is that Louisville? Which side of the coin do they fall on? Because for Miami, they're in a bounce back spot. And the question is fair for, hey, you just lost to your rival. You're already making a bowl game. You're not going to play for the ACC championship. Where are you at psychologically? Is this team sort of already moving on to next year and worrying about their draft stock for different guys and all that? Or is it a thing where it's like, hey, we got nothing to lose? There is nothing more dangerous than a soldier with nothing to lose. Which side of the coin is Miami on there? Because I think the approach for both teams will have a tremendous impact, obviously, on what we see on the field, but even more so with just how long either team hangs around. Because if Miami doesn't want to be there, Louisville could make this thing a little bit troublesome. On the flip side, if Louisville just kind of out of gas, then Miami, they could play spoiler and they could take down Louisville. There is a reality for that to happen. So I think Miami does actually end up making this thing very interesting. I think Tyler Van Dyke draws a line in the sand. I think we see him play better football. I don't know if he's elite, but I think we see him play better football. I think Louisville, they just have more to play for right now. Eyes on the prize. Jeff Brohm's got them dialed in. I think it's close. I think Louisville wins this game by a field goal. I got 31-28 for the Cards. Louisville's college football playoff hopes are still intact. All about that game against Florida State in the ACC title game. I can't wait to watch it. It's something to watch for Miami. It's only year 2 for Cristobal. Let's not panic. Only year 2. Let's watch how this team plays for him. Let's watch the brand of football they're playing. I would be a little bit slow to just define the Mario Cristobal era after a game like this, because I do think they're going to play hard for him, and I'm excited to watch it. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.